What is going on, guys? We're back with another video today, and we are doing a special rebuild. We are doing a fantasy draft rebuild of the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, they got their guy, Joe Burrow. Will they get him again, though? That's the question. The answer, though, is we will get a much better class. Well, a much better roster, I suppose, at the end of this. Most likely, of course, we have never done a rebuild with this class. We have the entire first round devs changed, and some of the other guys that I think might be decent players down the line, but there will be a decent bit of the rookies that will be normal, specifically because of, I'm not going to be able to go through every single rookie, but mainly because in real life or in Madden, you usually do see a lot of the rookies with normal. We've seen that this year for sure, specifically because of the breakout scenario. So if you guys do like this idea, maybe leave a like, subscribe. I don't know. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Check out the second channel, PKR Plays. Animal Crossing's on there. It's been fun. Okay, that's all I can tell you. I think we want a mid pick, right? I said mid, not late. Khalil Mack goes at number 22. I would assume none of the rookies would be up that high, but there might be. So let's take a quick gander. Derrick Henry, that's quite the high for him. Nick Bosa, Joey Bosa, Amari Cooper, Jair Alexander, Jalen Ramsey. I was about to say, I was like, people went before Mahomes and Lamar. That makes sense for those two to be the top two. Jalen at number 3 makes sense. Tre'Davious at 4, I'll allow it. These two, meh. Jair, I'll allow it. I think cornerback should go pretty high. Some of these guys are on the older side, though, but Joey and Nick make a lot of sense. Amari, maybe. Daniil, yeah, I suppose. TJ, though, that's quite a bit of a reach there. Derrick Henry, super high. There might still be talented players here. The question is, do we go for one of the QBs? I think usually we do pretty damn well with Russell Wilson at quarterback. Looking around here, we're going to allow Andrew Luck here because technically in real life, he is retired, don't get me wrong. But once again, I still don't believe it for a second that he's done in the NFL for all time. There's just no way, right? There's surely no way. Normally when we do these fantasy rebuilds, though, it's usually wide receiver and wide receiver and cornerback out the gate. Marlon Humphrey here is a tough man to pass on. I think we will have some other guys like Lattimore, Ward. What dev is Ward? Star. Maybe Marlon is the guy. What about wide receiver? Tyreek Hill, Julio Jones. Can you really pass on Russell Wilson, though? I mean, you're going to have to take a guy top 7 rounds anyways. Tua and all. How old is Russell? I'm going for Russell. I can't. He's my guy. I actually really like him in the NFL. Obviously, who doesn't, except for teams that have to go against him. But Russell Wilson's our guy. I'm sorry. Joe Burrow to the Raiders at pick 10, I believe, in the second round. Oh, hello. Joe Burrow, we did give superstar development. Anyone else? So you have Chase Young to the Lions, which is interesting. They definitely would have taken him in real life if he was there. Saquon Barkley at 10 in the second round. Any other QBs? I doubt Tua would have been up there, but Tua probably pretty soon. DeMarcus Lawrence. Are the wide receivers still there? I believe the wide receivers and corners are still there, so the decision needs to be made. I think wide receiver is the number 1 decision here. You got Gronk in there. Another corner. To be fair, I think Marlon's gone. Is Tyreek there still? Tyreek Hill. How old is Odell now? Damn, he is old, Odell. What? The thing is, ooh. Damn, Odell is a 90 overall only. I did not expect that to be the case. Like, if you're going to go Odell, you might as well go Chris Godwin. Tyreek Hill is 25, but he's a 96 overall. I feel like the last time we did a rebuild of a fantasy style, we did this, so I don't know. I'm having some struggles here. A pass rusher, actually. Let's take a look at pass rush. You do have Bobby Wagner, who lasts a long time, 29 years old. Do we go back to another Seahawk? That'd be kind of interesting. Von Miller, if you put him at defensive end, he lasts quite a bit. But I don't really want to spend that pick this early on. Myles Garrett, I know he's only star development now. Let's take a look and see how long it takes for him to go, actually. Clowney, he is superstar 26. I don't like pass rushers in Madden this year. They just don't get the numbers unless they're that dude. if they're like a J.J. Watt, a Khalil Mack. Rob Gronkowski, how old is he? 28. Oh, we forgot to change his dev. Yikes. He's older than that in real life, though, isn't he? He's like 29, 30, no? He's actually almost 31. I think it's the best available, though, boys. Fletcher Cox could be that dude at DN, though. We could put him on the edge. He's got that versatility. The thing is, would a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster still be there at 22 next round? You know what? We're going to go with someone new. Normally we go Tyreek Hill. I'm going to go with Fletcher Cox, 28 years old. You can play him at DT, which obviously DTs do really well in this game. You can play him at edge. We'll decide what the end result of our draft looks like to make a selection. What are we going to do? Where are we going to play him? Byron Jones, that's a bit of a steal. Quentin Nelson, really good guard, but meh. Don't really want to go for an offensive lineman that high. Julio Jones only goes now. Juju, no. Honestly, if Julio was there, I would have taken him. I know he's old as hell, but still, Tua Tagovailoa goes right after Rodgers. Tyreek doesn't go too far, removed from here. Kyler Murray, Clowney, some really good players right at the end of the second there. I mean, this is, well, actually the early third. These, we just barely missed out on some huge names. Myles Garrett is there, though. Damn, I do not want to continue to neglect wide receiver, but at this point in time, who do you take? Tyler Lockett, he's 26. I don't know. I think Myles Garrett's looking pretty high on our list here. This would be one of the best fantasy drafts we've ever had for defense. I mean, I don't think it's even close. He's the best available outside of Von Miller, but take away the dev, Von doesn't even come close to Myles Garrett for value. Myles is like 7 years younger than him here. I think you gotta go Myles, right? I mean, that's just insane. Myles Garrett it is. Probably goes up to superstar at the end of the season anyways. Super steal. I did want to see where he went on his own, but I would say it couldn't have been much more than that. I mean, Von's still here, but once again, he is quite a bit older, and the AI does actually value age, surprisingly. We have Deon Jones. Linebacker's not easy to get, but it's not super hard to get. Oh, Denzel Ward is 99% chance the guy. It depends on who's there at wide receiver. You do have a guy like Budda Baker, though. Is he superstar? He's regular star. Yeah, we're going to neglect the wide receiver position for like the first time in history for us. Where we got to go Denzel. That's just too big of a steal. I'll take it. Wide receivers, we do have two of the rookie guys with superstar, Mr. Jerry Jeudy and, of course, CD Lamb. I don't know when they would go. You can see Jerry's there. Henry Ruggs with star. Some other guys with decent ratings. Probably should have given some of the other ones maybe star. Some of the receivers will have to adjust after the draft, but that's fine for right now. Leighton Vander Esch is usually an absolute god for deving up. Do we take him? You have Roquan Smith as well, who I think is probably the better player. But there's really no denying Leighton Vander Esch. He just does so well in sim. Right now it's a decent tight end spot, but tight ends are hard to dev. However, is it a position of need? Like, do we really need a good tight end? This is always where I struggle. Well, if we want a linebacker, we want one. We're going to have to get one now. Right now, it's between Roquan for me. 83 overall, 22 years old. 74 block shed. Pretty damn good cover. 78 zone. 69 man. And then you have Leighton Vander Esch, who almost always goes to an X Factor by the end of everything. He definitely seems worse. He's a lot faster than I remember him being, by the way. Yeah, we're going to go Roquan Smith. It's a tough decision, but 50-50, I don't think you can go wrong with either. I also think if you put Roquan and left out, he'd be a higher overall. Leighton is still there. How good of a defense do we need, though? That's the question. I think we're just going to go best available. Leighton Vander Esch does really well in sim. Now, I don't think we need to look at linebacker for basically the rest of the draft. But Leighton Vander Esch, I think that's a steal. He plays really well. Adrian Amos, top of the list. We are going defensive heavy at this point in time. We really should add a weapon for Mr. Russell at some point. I don't know when. DK Metcalf is looking kind of high. In a good way, of course. Ooh, I think Metcalf's about to go now. Yeah, we're going to go DK Metcalf, reunite him with his pal Russell Wilson. I think round 13 is when Sheriff goes, actually. So, yeah, the class, the list I had from before was out of date. Nice. I mean, it's only round 9, and look at where the QB position is looking desperate. Look at this. Oh, my. I'm going to when Isaiah Simmons went. Probably like first 3 rounds, I'd say. Screw it. I mean, Aaron Jones goes somewhat soon. I want a good running back. Oh, what else do we actually have? Where's the rest of the running backs? Is Swift not considered a rookie? I don't understand that. I don't know when Swift is going to go, though. To be fair, you don't want... I don't know. I don't want to lose one of the rookies. I mean, because there's not that many here. We're just going to go Aaron Jones. We're going to start going for higher overall players now rather than going for development. Now at pick 10, I really want to start looking at this lineman position. You can see it's starting to thin out as well. We're going to go for the free safety, Darnell Savage, who always goes up very high in overall. And now here, if the linemen are all there, I want them. First pick, Ali Marpet. 26 years old, beast. Hopefully Sheriff is there. You see AJ Terrell goes. Pick 11, round 12. I think we just barely snuck out with these linemen. I think we're actually going to lose one. We're either going to lose Ragnar or Sheriff. I think we'll have a lot of guards. Oh, Ragnar's already gone. Damn, he must have just went. We do have David Andrews too, though. 27. I suppose if it's between Andrews or Sheriff, we're going to go Brandon Sheriff. Could get Shaq Mason as a center, perhaps. Yeah, we just barely slipped these linemen, I think. Yeah, we got lucky. Shaq Mason's here, too, somehow. We just yeeted. The interior lineman group is gone. We just took it. We just took it all. We just... Absolute perfect time. We have Joe Thuney here. We could play at tackle. I think that's might be who we're taking, too. Ellen's 23. Is Joe 20? If Joe's 26, we'll take Joe. We'll take Joe. 26 is fine. Even though they're all going to die at the same time. But I imagine we'll succeed with this roster very quickly. We need to take a look at wide receiver. We might have missed them all. It's Bryant. I don't really want to miss all of them. So if there's any of them that are there, I don't see Judy. Oh, no, I don't see Judy's gone. No. No. I'm actually kind of surprised Ellen Jenkins is still here, too. Did we just finish our entire offensive lineman group? I think we did. Let's take a look. Drafted. So we have 3 left guards and 2 right guards. So we have the best lineman group in the league. Nice. We just don't have any wide receivers to throw to. See, the problem is we got a little premature because there are still really good linemen like Will Hernandez and James Daniels, Dalton Reisner perhaps, that maybe we should have went for. So then we could have just grabbed them and traded them. You know, we could have grabbed them late, used some of the other guys higher. Because this wide receiver position of ours is not looking hot. We might do a real life and reach on Henry Ruggs. The thing is, you have McCole Hardman here as well. Let's go Henry Ruggs. Henry Ruggs should be faster than 95 speed. We're gonna edit that, by the way, 100%. And honestly, if McCole Hardman is there, I might just take him as well. We'll have 3 superstar superstars. So we'll have 3 star plus receivers to work with. Cole Hardman is still there. There are some other guys like Jefferson, though. You have Preston. Nah, I mean, you only need 2 wide receivers, so I'm fine. I think we have Noah Fant going 16, so the fact that he's still there, we'll take him. He almost never develops for us, but he's definitely the best developable option at that position right now. And I think now we're going to choose between Grant Delpit or McKinney. I think we're going to go Delpit. Well, we have our safeties. We're going to move Adrian to corner like we usually do, which gives us a pretty good set. We have how many linebackers? We have 2 coverage linebackers. We have a DT unless we play him at DN. So we do need to address the D-line a little bit. But overall, I mean, we're pretty set. We almost have our starting roster. We're going to go with Matos. Now we need 1 DT to finish the defensive lineup. I don't know if there's actually going to be anyone here. Raekwon Davis isn't a terrible choice, but he might have normal only. We could just go with Christian Wilkins, 23. We're going to actually go with AJ Epinesa. I know it's going to be a weird number 2 DT, but he's pretty big. I think he's big enough to play number 2. I mean, he's got Fletcher Cox working with him. He doesn't need to do that much. Can never have enough backups. Aquara. I can't pass up on McKinney anymore. And if Winfield's there, we can have a maybe play corner, number 3. Ooh, we kind of forgot about kicker, didn't we? We may or may not have forgotten about that position. I think round 22 is when we should have went for one. But I suppose there's some decent players there. Harrison Butker is on the list. You also do have Rosas. Let's go Harrison Butker. We usually would go with Aldrick if not. And we're going to go with the youngster, the Green Bay Packer. Actually, we're going to go with the Green Bay Packer. You do have Michael Dixon here. A little bit more accuracy from Scott. A little bit more. Yeah, let's go Michael Dixon. Sorry. Now we're going to get a little bit of height, and we're going to go with Mr. T. Higgins. Now, he's on the slower side, but we are going to end up going with Mr. Malik Harrison. All right, we're simming to the end of the draft. I did about 10-ish picks without anyone else being able to see, so you'll just have to guess which ones they were. They were just on your own, you know, just as you will. You know, just guess them. No issues there. Player development, no one cares. 82 overall, which is really good considering we haven't even changed the positions yet. Once we do, hopefully we'll be higher. All right, if we have a freaking scenario with a receiver and we put up 49 points and he can't get it, I'm confident you can't get it at all. He's our number one. So looking at our re-signings, we have a few backups, and by a few, I mean quite a bit of backups. I don't know if we have to keep any of these guys, and even if we did, I don't know if it'd be worth it, honestly. These are some expensive names. We might be able to get away with, you know, a David Long or DeAndre Baker, whatever one we decide makes more sense, which I would say Long because he's just everything you'd see on this front page here. He looks better. We'll give him a 2-year deal because we have money now. We probably don't have to re-sign anyone anytime soon. All right, simming to the postseason. Are we in it? We are at 10-5-1. We just snuck in. Absolutely clutched the thing. Tie against the Patriots. Okay, fair enough. Let's take a look at the season stats. Mr. Russell Wilson, just under 40 touchdowns, just under 4,000 yards. He did have only 7 picks, so a really good season. Aaron Jones, pretty solid. Tariq Cohen took some of the rushing touchdowns, and Cam Akers took a lot of the rushing touchdowns, 8. Metcalf and Henry Ruggs, a very decent chance to both go up to Superstar, which would be massive. And trust me, I am an expert on all things massive, if you know what I mean. Down there and with your mama. I did not mean to do that, but I said it. Oh, look at these numbers. Epinesa, the backup DT to Fletcher Cox, 13.5 sacks. I mean, you could see he played less snaps, not by a whole bunch, but you could see that he was the backup. Myles Garrett with a pretty decent season himself. Should definitely see Epinesa with a dev up. Maybe Myles Garrett, I don't know. Lane Vander Esch could go to Superstar. Butker with a good season. Kick return, punt return game, nothing much to report. Sorry, fellers. Tua Tagovailoa, because that's the first 4 letters spells tongue. Russell Wilson at number 3. Any other awards that we can... Really, Tua, though. Okay, man. If you say so. Defensive Rookie of the Year, somehow Epinesa did not win the award. Fair enough, I guess. Henry Ruggs at number 2. Metcalf at number 5. Offensive line, we had number 6 and 8. Really thought we maybe had a little bit higher. We had a really good offensive line. Maybe the rest of the league, or rest of the AFC does as well. 3 and 6 for our Defensive Lineman of the Year awards. Roquan Smith at 6. But where the hell is Leighton Vander Esch? I don't know. Okay. Ward at number 6 for DBs, and then kicker, number 1 for Harrison Butker. We normally do dev up kicker of the years, but he's already star, so it is what it is. And looking at the overall, oh my god. This is definitely 100% fair. All right, here we go. We get to see the disappointment of having a 9 overall upgrade on the opposing team and still losing to them. Here we are, 10-3, 10 all before half. We will hold a 10 all score. 17-10 to start the third. I mean, we're not seeing a great deal of urgency from our team. This is a very good drive, and the defense cannot hold. The defense cannot hold on, but the offense with a quick one down the field kind of tricked me here because I was just done doing a Colts recording. I was a little thrown off here. I was like, oh no, did we actually lose? And wait a minute, we're the good guys, even though that's not really it. Really good Russell Wilson's game. Aaron Jones, pretty damn solid. 8 was his longest, so he didn't have some big run that, made all the yards happen. He fought for every one of them. Metcalf with a good game. If Ruggs and Metcalf go up in dev, GG to my pants being dry. All right, the divisional round going against the Jaguars. I do not remember 82 overall. We're in 89. Hey, look, Andrew Luck. I do not remember who the hell we traded first round picks from. But, hey, Hopefully you guys aren't doing so well, just being honest. Can we go for the 3P? This is one of our quickest upgrades in any fantasy draft we've ever had. I know we always draft pretty well, but this one was another level. 7 to 10 and 10 all at half. We're not really putting up the points we should be. Defense is kind of coming strong here. I do that as well on the weekends at night. And wow, it's ironically, the defense has locked down the Jaguars in the second half to 10 points. Offense actually held its part of the bargain, and we win 34 to 10. A little bit more convincing of a win. Russell did play a decent bit better. Aaron Jones did have a 59-yard run, but 16 for 142 touchdowns doesn't sound bad at all. Receiving, Noah Fant was meh. Metcalf and all that. No one really shined, but as a group effort, we did win. The edges, 3 total sacks. Winfield with a pick. Harrison Butker, consistent. Seems like we made the right choice in the draft. It is a little surprising, though, that we didn't have the bye week. I'm actually a bit surprised by that. Going against the Patriots, the one team we tied against, we're in 89. They're in 83. Is that Julian Edelman I see in there? I mean, on paper, there's no team that Keem's closer. No team that comes close to us at all. But it is Madden, so expect a devastating loss here. Packers and Redskins on the other side. Interesting. All right, so I think that was their ball first. I guess it doesn't really matter. Both teams kind of struggling here. Left to right is us, as I kind of expected. 7 all, and before half, we find nothing. Nothing at all. But as if we finally hold the lead, but of course we don't do that. 21 to 17, 28 to 17. The Patriots looking good. Uh-oh. Maybe a little too good. First slow sim of the postseason. Clutch interception for the Patriots. I was going to say clutch drive, but not so much. 3.5 minutes left. I don't really want to help this offense because this is a great team. Will we have to? I don't think we will. The Patriots looking good here. Cannot get the field goal up in time, or they missed it. It was a 60-yard attempt. Wow. Got to give it up to both of these QBs. Russell threw 3 interceptions, but he never stopped trying. Really weird stats for somebody that threw 3 picks. He must have just got really unlucky or something. Aaron Jones was trash. Absolute garbage from both teams, really, on the ground. A lot of receiving yards, though. Let's take a look at these statistics. Sacks, Myles Garrett. No real crazy sack numbers for either team. Apparently, we didn't get a single pick. Minka, Ramsey, and Moore did, however, suck up with 1 missed field goal, and that might have been right at the end there on that 60-yard attempt. That could be a face right now that we're about to see. Actually, no, we're not, because this is a fantasy, but I suppose maybe the Packers drafted him. So before we play the Super Bowl, it is the Packers, ironically. Before we play the Super Bowl, we'll show you guys the lead-up. I want to see, who had to play who and what happened and where are we, and I don't know. That's it. Packers over the Cardinals. Be nice if that happened a little bit more over the last decade than over Washington by 3. Was that the exact same score? As you do. When's the last time something like that's happened? Probably never, right? That seems kind of hard to do, no? Let's take a look at these dev-ups, though. I'm expecting some dev-ups. We do see Metcalf go to Superstar. We might have seen Ruggs. He might not have just glitched out on him. He is. So not having Aaron Jones to Superstar is kind of sucky. But at the end of the day, Mr. Metcalf and Ruggs both went to Superstar after 1 season. Leighton Vander Esch also followed suit here with his Superstar development. Grant Delpit, I can't remember if he was Superstar already or not. He wasn't, but he is now. We also obviously do have Myles Garrett with a dev up to Superstar, and then potentially Yatur here, who does not, of course. The one that was probably the most deserving. Actually, he wasn't the most deserving. He was good, but not as good as Epinesa. That's who we were thinking of. Where is he? Well, doesn't matter. He didn't go up either. But still, all things considered, this was a very good set of upgrades. 10-5-1 versus 10-5-1. Once again, another record potentially being broken. When's the last time something like that's happened? We're just seeing the first ever of everything, it appears. All right, going to the end of the game. Can we see a Super Bowl win right out the gates? Maybe not. The Packers are doing pretty well. We only get 3 back. They are up 17-3 at half. Barely almost gave up another score there. Defense is doing okay. Offense is terrible, though. Okay, offense. Okay, offense. I see it. 2-point conversion as well, it would appear. 17-14. Just need one more stop, defense. Defense. There it is. It was a strugglesome one, but 4 minutes left. Russell and the offense have a chance. They're up by 1. You got to make a stop, D. Oh, I want to come in. Don't need to. We win the game 21-20. Rebuild over. We're done. No, we're not done. We'll try 2 more seasons at least, of course. Well, not even at least. At most, I suppose. Want to get that 2 out of 3 opportunity. And don't get me wrong. We knew we drafted well, right? We knew we put together a really good team. But you damn. You got to be joking me. Right out the gate is Brock Osweiler, their starting QB. No, that's Ryan Tannehill. Not crazy much better. Nah, it is actually quite a bit better. I'm sorry, Tannehill. That was harsh of me. I apologize. Who is the MVP of the game? Probably Russell Wilson, right? Russell? No, it was Roquan Smith. A sack, a pick, 10 tackles. I can't really argue with that stat line. Looks pretty damn good to me. Turnovers in the Super Bowl. Takeaways, anyways, usually a huge factor. Obviously, mostly a factor for any game, but huge in the Super Bowl. That's usually, one of the plays you remember. You don't remember that 30-yard beastly run or, 35-yard insane passing catch. You remember the takeaway. You remember that game-changing moments. And this is a really good team. That's all I can really tell you. We don't even have to re-sign anyone because obviously it's a fantasy draft. We're in the same boat as everyone else, but we have a way better team, which is not really the same boat, but better. Hey, not bad. Bucker, it appears like one of their guys missed. Oh, God, Goshkowski. You lost them the game. Congratulations, sir. Yikes. The real question is, after winning the Super Bowl, after progressing so fast, what the hell do you even go for? Like, offensive line, there's 0 we could do to get better. Receiver, maybe the slot, but, even then, debatable. I think offense is untouchable at this point. Defense, we can use an outside linebacker, and that's it, I believe. It's like, what else do you upgrade here? This is insane. These rookies are deving up at an insane rate. It's crazy. Obviously, they're not, perfect, but mid-80s is pretty good. I don't know. I'm not sure what we do here. The draft's going to be quite interesting when we don't have anyone to actually take. This might be a bit of a quicker rebuild. I'm just throwing that out there. If you were expecting a long one, that's sorry to get your hopes high for nothing. That's what I've said to her many times. Who's her? So looking at the re-signings, we don't need Jalen. Well, we really didn't need him in the beginning. Voshad's asking for quite a bit, considering we don't really need him as a backup anyways. We're just going to let all these guys go, except for some of these backups. We'll probably take, what's his name? James Lynch back. Some other backups that we, I think, are good value. But everyone else we're going to let go. And maybe we sign someone in free agency. Probably not, though, right? I don't know why Pollard is just unloved in fantasy drafts. He's just, it's a shame. It's a damn shame. People like him in free agency. But in fantasy drafts, he gets like a 1-year deal and then he's gone. But obviously, I'm happy for the man. Do what you got to do. But of course, we're unlikely to find someone that we can actually use to help us. Hell, we'd be unlikely to find someone in the draft that can start outside of, once again, linebacker. That's really what we're going to be aiming for. I don't know what our draft picks are like, but we'll probably end up trading up if we have to for whatever the best available looking linebacker is. But even him, we don't even know if we need him, honestly. I guess we'll lowball Voshon. And that's our one chance, 7-year deal. How you doing? This is our one chance to build quite possibly, literally, our best God squad ever. So we're in the draft, and there's this cornerback, Jefferson Callaway. He's an 80 overall. I did have him on my list. I didn't think he was going to be that early. He had an A- man coverage. I would love to see how good this guy is. And you can see how big the screen is. We also have a linebacker that's decently high. I suppose he's the only decent one there, so we're probably going to end up taking him. You look at the linebackers, and there just is not anyone else. Mr. Dave Jackson, 4'6". Top skills are lacking a bit, but we're going to go for him. And we reached 71 overall. I suppose he's a good starter over who we had, because he'll automatically dev up better because he's star better. But yeah, for pick 6 overall, I'd probably expect a little bit more than that. Let's see what else we have. We do also have the cornerback, Mitch Whiteside. I'm trying to think if we really need another corner, though. I don't think we do, but he is pretty solid. Reed Peters, I really don't know what to do because we don't need any players. Like, we just don't. Mitch Whiteside of the Titans, steal and a half. Peters is definitely going to be gone, but if he's there, I suppose we'll take him for the future, I guess. Pick 13. Of course, Reed Peters goes right there, as you will when you're us. That'll just happen every time. Caldwell, early second. McKnight, late second. I mean, these are just not positions. I mean, this guy, Caldwell, is 21, so I suppose we'll go for him. Let's see if we can trade to, 22, though. Let's see if we can get a little bit out of it. Not that we really need it, but we can't get a trade down, so I suppose we're just going to take him. 76 overall, 21 normal. He is very, very good. He is, NFL ready now, but he's going to be sitting back up for several years to come. I guess that's not the worst thing, right? It could be worse. Our next real pick that I want to go for is Kevin Morris. Once again, just basically another backup. I think Carlos McKnight's all right, but he's 23 at a position that we won't need for a long, long time to come. So let's start trading down. Well, here we are. Kevin Morris, 71 overall, hidden development. Not a bad player at all. I would have expected him to be a little bit faster, but sometimes the green number throws me off, whether they're actually super fast or not. It's oh yeah, they're the fastest in the class. It's just everyone else is a porker. And yeah, I said it, okay? Eduardo Gonzales, not a bad looking player here, late fourth. Should we just take players even, yeah, whatever. Eduardo Gonzales, normal development, 70 overall. Hold A to not reorder, huh? 32 in the 6th round. We did trade, our first, second, and third for a first and second next year from the team that had the number 1 overall pick. So, even in a fantasy, it's somewhat fair, I guess, kind of, not really. But at the end of the day, we're probably not going to need to draft anytime soon anyways. James Swenson, don't need a punter, but he's the only guy on our board and the most valuable on our board at this point. If there was no one else, looks like a QB, but he's a kicker with good accuracy, decent kick power, and quite a bit of speed, actually. And we have no other picks left. I really want to see what that corner looks like. Obviously, I want to see the developments of the, I believe, 2 hidden players we had. How big does the screen need to be? I can see well enough the way it is. Dave Jackson, decently fast. Obviously, number 1 starter out the gates. And a superstar development. Okay, that's pretty big. That's huge. That's not what she said to me. Morris, the free safety with the star development as expected. Now, I'm really curious to see these corners. Number 1, Callaway, 80 overall, 82 man, 73 zone. Pretty damn fast. Let's take a look at the development for Mr. Callaway, which is, this is quite the corner you've got there. What a beast. Look at this guy, Jawan Fletcher, 21 years old, 94 speed, 86 catching out the gate for a fast player, 87 juke move. This guy's a beast. What's his development? 21 years old. He's got a huge ceiling. Star only, but once again, tons and tons of years left to go. This is actually a pretty damn good draft. We had one of the lowest overalls in the top 10, actually the lowest. Actually, no, we didn't, because the Jets seen a bunch of wide receivers go, and they're like, you know what? We're going to go for a wide receiver. You really shouldn't have. Let's take a look at Peters, and let's also take a look at that corner we missed. So Reed Peters, 23. I don't remember him being 23, by the way. Wow, superstar. Okay, that would have been a good pick, because once again, we obviously all know you cannot dev up a lineman, so that's monster. 95 speed, 93 excel. This guy would be a decent upgrade over Winfield, assuming speed matters in Sim, which I don't know if I can confirm that or not, because Sim is so random at times. But, really good draft for us, considering we didn't really need much. All we needed is a linebacker, and that's exactly what we got, and with superstar dev. So I'm, I guess, content with what we've done, I suppose. And we also have Caldwell for the years to come, assuming one of the older guys, can't go anymore, or they just get too expensive. We got a backup, even though we probably have to re-sign them the same time we'd have to re-sign the rookie. And then, of course, Jackson, we need to play at right out, which he already is. He just needs to start there, fix up the roster, and we're on our way to the second year, which could, once again, be a Super Bowl repeat. And by now, once again, I don't know. So here is the final roster for year 2. It's looking pretty damn good. This would be, great 4 or 5 years down the line, let alone year 2 of a fantasy where the highest team outside of us maybe reaches 84, 85, I would imagine. Let's see if we can do it again. All right, so we have some re-signings. Cole Kmet. That's quite expense for a backup. Patrick Ricard, though, I believe, as the best fullback, maybe in the league. I can't. Juszczyk is probably a little bit higher than that, but considering Patrick has quite more years left in him, I'll probably give him the nod. We'll re-sign him, of course. Any other player, some of these backups might be worth it, but I don't know. I don't think we can re-sign any of these other players. Do we try to re-sign Cole Kmet? We'll take a look at how much of a impact he is on the team before we make a decision there, and I think we'll let Tariq Cohen go, and most of the backups we'll just let go. To be fair, Cole Kmet really doesn't get that many catches, so I think we'll just let him go. 4 for 20 is not really worth it, and hey, a bye week, 12-3-1. The Ravens, I believe, missed the playoffs this time. I don't know if they did if they made it last time or not. Of course, another tie wouldn't be us, apparently, without a tie. Of course, I don't even know why I'm looking at this. It means nothing to us because none of the teams are who they are. Russell Wilson, a bit of a down year. 30 touchdowns, 9 picks, just under 4,000 yards yet again. You will see a bit more yards and touchdowns for the running game, which I suppose in the end, Russell just, we just need to get here. Russell doesn't need any dev-ups. Aaron Jones does, and I think that's probably enough to get him to superstar. Cam Akers with a ton of rushing touchdowns again, and then the backup role kind of being split in two. Just like your Mike, I'm not going to say it. Receiving game, though, a bit of a yikes this time. Not going to lie, a bit of a yikes. Ruggs, meh. Metcalf, pretty good, I suppose. And then everyone else, nothing really to be too excited about. Offensive line, really good stuff. Joe Thuney, whatever his name is, 8 sacks. That's not bad for left tackle, especially in Madden terms. Edge, doing pretty damn good again. Of course, Epinesa this time, only 5 sacks. Did have a little bit less snaps, but overall it seems like the defense just had less snaps as a group. Roquan might be turn for him to go to superstar this time. Pick totals, yikes. Only, 7? Is that math for you? 7. I know math. Harrison Butker, I believe, missed 2 or 3 last season as well. He did get blocked once, so I'm not going to be too mad about that. Kick returns, Chenault, 2 kick return touchdowns. If he's one of the guys that needs to be re-signed, he might get one from us just because of that alone. Russell Wilson this season apparently was enough for MVP. We obviously know he had some rushing numbers, but even then, I still didn't think he did enough for it. Offensive Rookie of the Year, no. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we did not. We got number 4. Best QB, where is he? Russell all the way down at 7. Running back Aaron Jones at number 1. Metcalf at 5. O-line, Marpet and Sheriff at number 1 and 2. Mason at 6. And then Joe at 10. D-Lineman of the Year, Myles Garrett at 5. And then Matos at number 10. Linebackers, Leighton at number 10. Surprised Roquan wasn't on the list this time. They always, shock me a little bit. And then Kicker of the Year, number 6 for Harrison. And, of course, we did get a bye week, so that much easier to get to the Super Bowl. Into the divisional already. You can already see we got 2 ability unlocks. What is our overall? Yeah, we'll just upgrade that automatically. Our overall is, holy, quite good. A 94 overall to their 84 overall. They have Jeff Okudah, Nick Chubb. Nothing really too insane. Going to the end of the game, we have not lost a postseason game yet, which is ironic because the Bengals are on a bit of a streak for that. Actually, they're on a bit of a streak for just not making it to the postseason, right? Not even, let alone losing. Second half, we are up 20-7. That is decreasing quickly here. Defense is doing its best, but the offense is trying very hard to keep the Raiders into it. But once again, defense saved us this time, bailed us out completely. Let's take a look at these numbers. We're a lot of turnovers or something. Yeah, 2 picks for Russell Wilson, ironically going against Joe Burrow here. Rushing numbers, nothing great. Aaron Jones in the postseason is not a factor, it would appear. Sack totals, Myles Garrett with 2, and then they had 3 as a group. Pick totals, DB's getting quite involved. Matt Gay with a missed field goal. And then nothing in the kick return game, really. Going against the Jets, this is a team we're going to lose to. I just know it. Oh, they got Drew Brees as well. It's all going against us here. You can just feel it. You just feel it in the air. Not really, but I'm saying it, so it must mean something. All right, winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. Obviously, there's quite a bit of momentum in our favor. We have last year's season. Obviously, we got even better. Second half up 17 to 9. 24-9 now, 24-12. A little more consistent here, but also defense a lot more consistent. And yet again, we score 34 points. I believe we did literally last game, didn't we? Russell Wilson with 4 touchdowns, only 1 pick, 22 for 26, 300 yards on the dot. Really good game from him. And then Drew Brees was meh. While once again, rushing game, specifically both teams, just absolutely garbage. I don't know what to tell you about that. Myles Garrett with 3 sacks. Some of the youngsters getting involved as well. Pick totals, really, David Long. We did choose to re-sign him. Obviously, we make great decisions across the board. If you couldn't tell, there's your proof. All right, headed to the Pro Bowl, but more importantly, the Super Bowl going against the Rams. Let's also see these dev-ups. Aaron Jones had to go to Superstar. If he didn't, this is a robbery. Thank you. And Metcalf goes to Superstar X Factor. 92 overall, almost 93. He has played really well, back-to-back 1,000-yard-plus seasons. Double-digit touchdowns this time around. Looking very beastly. Those abilities, max security. That would be one terrible trio of abilities. Cannot lie about that. Aaron Jones, of course, superstar now with Jukebox and Leapfrog. Defensively, we get no dev up for Roquan, which is a little shocking. And then we do see Myles Garrett go from star to superstar X Factor straight from the draft, which is quite something. As you got some of these other youngsters that are playing really well, and they're not getting dev ups. But still, I'm completely content with the dev ups we're getting. There's been times where we get none, even though we expect to get some. Of course, it's happening in this one. Ooh, Lamar Jackson, the number 2 overall team drafting in the fantasy draft here in the Super Bowl. So, got to be something with that number 2 pick that's factoring. Not really, because we were like 22, so it means nothing. But Super Bowl back-to-back could go for, 7 straight postseason wins. That'd be quite a streak. I don't know if that's ever been done. Maybe. Probably. Maybe. I don't know. That seems pretty hard, 7 playoff games in a row would basically mean that you either did win 2 Super Bowls or came very close to, I think, mathematically. 21-7, though, in the second half. Yeah, I'm going to say that this is probably some sort of NFL record as we now win back-to-back Super Bowls. 35-28. Kind of choked it at the end there a little bit, but the Bengals are on top. They have gone from quite disappointing to the best team, set of years for a franchise in NFL history, basically. This is just absolute pure dominance. Some of the regular season's records have been a little iffy. And, you do this well in the postseason, you expect to probably go 14 wins each season, or at least. First one was only 11-5. This one was at 13-2-1, something like that. But at the end of the day, all that matters is you win, and we're pretty primed to win again on the next season. Russell Wilson is just an amazing player to choose. If you have a chance at Russell in the first round, in the fantasy draft in general, probably take him, right? Especially if you're in the late 20s, I'd probably take him. Normally I'd be, wouldn't want him. Last Madden wouldn't touch someone like Russell Wilson for his age, but this year they did a decent job with regression and specifically a QB, and he's good for quite some years. Russell Wilson already, at this point, definitely put himself in the Hall of Fame without a doubt. And can we go for the 3-peat? Can we do it? Russell Wilson, pretty much, and Lamar had a perfect game, and obviously Russell's been out of his mind most games. Both running backs, pretty consistent running. Lamar, the other running back. I'm tired, so the jokes aren't as punch-worthy. I don't even know. No picks, of course, we already knew that. Kick return, nothing. Just a clean game of football, and, the better team won by a little bit. So, that's a clean Super Bowl. I can't be mad. Once again, probably not going to see many names here in free agency. Who do we have to re-sign? Chanel. Oh, we can't. A 3-year, $21 million. I'm assuming we'll be able to get some sort of backup in the free agency period to replace some of these guys. Like PJ would be nice to replace. Tyler. Some of these guys that we're not going to be able to afford, it'd be nice to get back. Or just someone new. Because I would assume a lot of these types of players are going to be in free agency. There's guys that are, definitely if you're using them, you're putting a lot of emphasis on them, they could still be good players, but just not the focus on their team. And let's see, maybe I'm just dead wrong, which it's starting to look that way. As you can see, Cole Kmet getting a very a high amount of offers and good ones on top of it. Any of our other players, probably some of them, right? Kevin King, you can see, guys like that always go. Like Chenault is getting a lot of offers. So I guess I was wrong. Maybe other teams are struggling a little bit. We're going to need to get a backup tight end. Oh, here's Chase Claypool. I mean, things will work out for us, right? We'll get some players to replace. 83 speed. Excuse me. What did he run? A 4.98 or something? What the hell, man? That's like 4.8, no? Well, he had to run at least like a 4.5. He ran a 4.42. Who made this class? A blind man. Stevie Wonder out here in the Madden community, apparently. I'm sorry, that was unnecessary. But I'll get him and probably up him a little bit. But he's got some signings. We got Weaver, we got Morrow, we got Balaj, and then we also got this cornerbacks, 23 years old. We signed him to a 6-year deal, I believe. He has superstar development trait, and he's pretty damn decent. So I can't see him, but I think we have our long-term backup corner that could end up one day potentially, starting for a guy like Adrian Amos, who obviously isn't the super youngest guy in the world. You can see 6'2", pretty decent upside. One of those high man, nothing else corners. What about his ability? Yeah, I forgot he's on an 80 overall. But yeah, we can get rid of some of the other backups and whatnot. And once again, I have zero clue what to draft. All right, headed to the draft. Probably don't need anyone here either, but here we are. Andrew Crockett and Deon Wilkinson. We do have a wide receiver that's kind of high, but once again, is it actually a position in need? You can see here Alan Malone. He looks decent, but I just don't know if it's actually a huge need for us. We'll move these guys down. Walters is decent. Ricky Hicks. I'm really trying to think. I guess Fletcher Cox needs to be replaced soon, so maybe Mark Richardson. Kind of a Fletcher Cox type, actually. What about Hicks? He's probably stronger. They're both very good. Let's see. What do we have next? So we're going to have to replace a pass rusher because Matos, unless he has a really good season coming up, I don't think it's worth re-signing him because pass rushers go for a lot, and usually pass rushers in Madden don't really put up crazy numbers anyways. So if you're looking at a defensive line, the front seven is probably the biggest need. So we might end up taking both DTs because we'll have to replace Cox whenever he retires, which, I mean, that's many years from now. I don't even know. That's the only thing that sucks about doing a fantasy draft is you end up with such a good team. There's really nothing we can do to get better. I really don't know. I think we're going to trade down to like 20. Let's trade down to like 17, grab the DT, and I don't want to say it again because you guys are getting annoyed. We give him 3 for 17 this, 36 and 68 next. Probably could have got a lot more than that, but completely fine with it. They trade up and get Holloway, not a bad pick. And if Richardson's there, we will take him. 17 seemed like a pretty safe trade down. Walters is there too, actually. Deshaun Walters. I'm trying to think of the pass rushers we have. Like I said, we probably could use a replacement at pass rusher at some points. I'm trying to think now because we could just wait for Hicks. Yeah, we're going to leave Richardson. Hopefully it's not a bad decision. Okay, Walters looks decent just from hidden. A little bit on the slower side, but he has dual threat styles, so it seems like a good pick. Hopefully the DT's there at 32. It said mid. Was it early or mid-second? I don't even know. Is he there? He is. So Ricky Hicks, I think this could be a really good decision. Oh, I think it really could be. I don't even know why I'm getting excited. It doesn't even matter. At this point, we've won. We've literally won. There's nothing else we could really do. But we do have some backups. Ooh, Conrad was there. That was one of our top players. Alan Malone, kind of a smaller type of player. We're going to take Hopkins off because we just don't need him. Alan Malone. Wide receivers. We have to re-sign a slot. I don't think we can afford all three. A little premature here, though. It is a little premature for this pick, but he is 21. Wide receiver's not. Yeah, let's just take him. Alan Malone, 71 overall, hidden. Nice, 21 years old. Definitely some upside. I don't know what the development's going to look like, but star better is obviously good. I guess let's just take the rest of our steals and then keep pushing draft picks to the next season and then the next season until we actually need to start using them. Of course, the QB position is going to be the expensive one. The next pick, mid-4th, so we could probably wait till like mid to late 3rd. Probably trade this down for a next year pick, actually. We trade 64, Morrow, and a 5th for 34. I know we just got Morrow, but, you know, it's a fair trade. If anything, they benefited from that trade because they guarantee themselves what they got. I don't know. I think we kind of got screwed more than anyone, really. The guard is gone. Austin Sheffield could use a backup, so we're just going to take this guy. Please be good. Okay, this is interesting. He's 66 overall, but he is hidden. I mean, I think even in a user league, it'd be very hard to see that one through. I don't know if you could ever get that guy to starting caliber, but I guess it never hurts to have a star development backup, I suppose. Next pick is Ray Frisch. He's 23 years old, so I'm not really super worried about losing him. And by saying that, we're obviously definitely going to lose him. And we did. We'll wait, I suppose. Trade this as well. I mean, there really is not a whole lot we could do left in this. Like, that is just, I mean, we just had such a good start. And, of course, the tackle's gone. Nice. At this point, let's just take, I don't know, something. We'll just take the highest graded fullback. 69 overall normal. No one cares. Take a look at the draft recap. I will take a look at the DT we passed on as well. But Mr. Deshaun Walters, 6'5", 22 years old. Pretty prototypical, good pass rusher. Star development, pretty prototypical development as well. Ricky Hicks, a little undersized, but pretty athletic. That is a very good development. Congratulations, sir. I don't know what we're going to do with him, but congratulations. Malone, star developments. Yeah, not a bad backup. And then Austin Sheffield, I believe, was the last hidden guy we had with a star development. Let's take a look at the DT we passed on. Honestly, if our guy was superstar, that DT may have been X Factor. I'm not going to lie. Oh, what is this? Yikes. Dolphins, you choked that one away. So Mark Richardson, a little bit weaker, but pretty damn fast. Really good. 85 finesse. Excuse me. Also superstar, so we just killed the draft as we usually do. Even though, once again, we don't need to, so take it how you may. All right, the roster for the final season, the chance to three-peat is among us, and boy, does this roster look pretty stacked. We also have backups ready at the ready. We got a freaking cornerback with superstar development. We got a DT with superstar. Walters is a good backup to replace Matos at some point, assuming, you know, we can't afford him. I mean, this team is absolutely loaded. So I don't know why this shouldn't be a three-peat. Have we ever three-peated in a rebuild? Like, ever? I don't know if we have. Maybe? I think we went to 3 straight, but I don't know if we won all 3. So we actually might have a chance. All right, so we have the re-sign Matos already. Henry Ruggs, obviously. God, that's just irreplaceable. 7-year, $114 million deal. As long as we have the top 2 guys, that's all that matters. So we're going to be spending our money there as much as we have to. And I was going to say can, which makes no sense. Noah Fant, we'll give a 5-year. We're not going to lock him in as long. Of course, none of this means anything to us. The chances of us actually going back into this are very low. We're actually going to give Epinesa a decent deal because, long story short, I mean, he's asking for significantly less than Yatur here, so we really could just put him over there if we really wanted to. Grant Delpit, a 5-year, 50. I suppose I'll give him a 6-year. Money is it's becoming a bit of a problem, I'll admit. Antoine Winfield, this is the one I think we have to let go, replace him with that superstar. That's where we're going to save a decent bit of money. T. Higgins, I think that's another player. We can let him go. And then, of course, just use the guy we drafted. A lot of players here that are worth, you know, quite a bit if we decided to trade them. But I think we already passed the damn deadline anyways, but either way, it be what it be. Harrison Butker will at least give a 2-year deal too, because he has actually been very, very solid for us. But I am almost kind of tempted to keep Antoine because we will have to replace Amos at some point. Got the deal for AJ. What about Xavier? Can he play a little bit of corner? I think he can. He's a little bit on the slower side, but he could play corner if he had to. It's like, what, $5 million per year? That's not crazy. We have to draft someone anyways. Obviously, we don't have to because we're not going to probably, like I said, ever touch this again. But just in case, make it realistic as well. Not that there's been a whole lot of realism in this one. I think we've went for the guys who want to. Should 3-year 48 kind of defeat the purpose of drafting the guy we did? Yeah, we'll let him go. I don't know what his season's looking like. Let's take a look first. I think, ironically, he's having his best season yet. Going to the playoffs, have we done it? Have we done it? We have. The 16-0 season has been completed. I do not know how many times we've done that this year. Probably not many. I imagine the stats are going to be pretty damn solid here. Or not. Russell still can't eclipse 4,000 yards. 34 touchdowns, 10 picks. Rushing, nothing crazy out of the ordinary. Balaj, a little bit more yards, but then again, we don't have a third running back. Metcalf absolutely balling out. Henry Ruggs, pretty close behind, not too far off. Blocking, we're getting better. We're almost perfect. When the hell did this Heck guy in there? Who the heck is he? I apologize. Myles Garrett, Yatur. Oh man, what do we do with him? I do not know. Fletcher Cox, this is quite the sack season, I'll tell you that. Kicking, 9 out of 11, nothing, pretty average for him, which isn't to say that's good or bad. It's okay. It's okay. Any award wins? Apparently Hicks played quite a bit of snaps. We were very close on a lot of awards. Well, offensive line, we have 5, and then Caldwell's starting to slip his way up to the top. And yeah, a lot of award wins were close, just didn't win them. Some of them we obviously did win, but a decent bit of them we just barely missed. But here we go, a 97-0, 93D. That's not what we wanted to do. 86 overall Ravens to our 95 overall. Ooh, they have Mahomes, though. This could be the team that knocks us out. Our rivals, this would be quite a spectacular one. All right, going to the end of the game. Something's telling me the Ravens might be the team. They have that name behind them as well for Simluck. They've got Patrick Mahomes at QB. Maybe never mind, because defense is locking them up. Hey, down by 7. Oh, clutch offense. I really did think we were going to lose that one, but obviously our team had other things in mind. Russell has been freaking flawless. He's been insane. Ground game, once again, Aaron Jones has been very inconsistent. Ruggs with a nice game there for sure. Hicks, he's playing a lot more snaps than I thought he would. I'm not really sure what that's about, but cool, man, I guess. 84 overall Patriots. Of course, Tua has been winning MVP left and right. I think we had Tua MVP, Russell MVP, and then Tua MVP. So we'll see. Battle of the MVPs. Obviously, one team is outstandingly better than the other. A little bit of a snow game. No real advantages either side here. So this should be a classic one. Hopefully in our favor, obviously. Get us back to that Super Bowl. Why not? Why not? No, Patriots. We're not doing this. There you go. 10-0. 7-10. Really need that score before half. Start of the second half. Not looking super good. Defense, once again, absolutely clamping teams. Offense finishing the job when they need to. And I think, yep, this team has done it again. This team has been, it hasn't been dominating. It's just been so consistent. When they need to make the play, they make the play. Balaj, 15.2 yards per carry on a 66-yard run. Clutched up. Defensively, Hicks, once again, he's balling out. That guy is primed to be a star in the league. Just what everyone else needed in the league, right? For the Bengals, the best team in football by far, to land a freaking god tier DT who's not even technically a starter yet. And then on to the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at any potential dev-ups. I don't really think there's any on offense I can think of. 96 overall, not looking too bad. Noah Fant, no. Aaron Jones, I'm actually a little surprised by that. His season was good, but I didn't think it was superstar X-Factor worthy. Defensively now, no dev-ups. I really thought Leighton Vander Esch would have went up to Superstar X Factor at this point, but he didn't. Here we are going against those Rams again. 96 to their 88. Definitely the highest overall team we faced so far in the postseason. Lamar Jackson, the number 2 player selected, right after the team we just played with, the number 1 overall selection, Mr. Mahomes. Here it is. Can we do the 3P? Can we have our greatest rebuild literally of all time? I think this would be the best rebuild we've ever had. Oh my, this offense. This team has done well. Once again, it just doesn't feel like it's been overwhelmingly dominant. There's just something about it where they do well without feeling like they're God mode, even though ironically they put up 49 points today. Tell me I'm wrong, right? Like we know we're going to win. It's not like we barely scraped together the win, but there's just something about it it's average, yet it's dominating. I don't even know what to tell you. That's all I can really say. But we completed the 3P. This has been pretty damn good. I mean, I obviously came into this expecting to do well because it's a fantasy draft. You know, the AIs, even though they have been improving over the years on just not taking really old players, there's just still, Patrick Queen, there's still just that user element that makes fantasy drafts OP for rebuilds. Just OP in general. Russell Wilson, beast mode. I think if you can get a QB early, that's what you do. And obviously, that's what we did. Simply put, that's what we did. And ultimately, Russell Wilson, Hall of Famer. I mean, pretty much everyone on this roster who started from the beginning is a Hall of Famer almost at this point. And obviously, we're done. This is the rebuild. This is the Cincinnati Bengals fantasy draft rebuild with rookies. I don't know if there's going to be really much more we can do with fantasy drafts for the rookies. Maybe we do an auto draft one where the AI takes the players. I'm not sure. But let's take a look at the stats for the final game and pretty much call it there. This was a major success, in my opinion. 92-yarder for Aaron Jones. Damn, son. That's what I'm talking about. Fletcher Cox with 2 sacks. Myles Garrett with 1. Roquan with 2 picks. And Savage with 1. Special teams, nothing really to report ever, basically. Except for that one. Who was it? One of the teams had a kicker that missed like an extra point and 2 field goals, and we only won by 1. I think it was year 1. I can't really remember, but let's take a look at re-signing. Our overall is a 95. We were a 97 overall, at a sliver of a point there. But regardless, like I said, that's going to be the video. If you have any suggestions for, something we could do with the roster, perhaps for a rebuild, or just even some video at all, let me know in the comment section below. Of course, I'm still looking for a pure 2021 rookie class roster that we can use for, what is it damn called? Gauntlet, but I have not seen one yet. But regardless, hopefully you enjoyed today's videos. Tomorrow will be Flyers, and then Tuesday we'll do some dual upload again. Once again, if you enjoyed, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Maybe check out the second channel, PKR Plays. But that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!